Okay, good evening everyone. I hope that you can hear me okay. I shall just give everyone a moment to adjust the volumes on their speakers and headsets. Um, Welcome to this evening's webinar, which is entitled How to Ace Aptitude Tests. So it's a bold claim, but what we're going to be covering this evening is really going to set you in the best possible position to give your best possible performance in these tests that can be quite challenging and can be quite stressful at times. Just to let you know that my name is Ben Williams. I am a chartered occupational psychologist. I've had the pleasure of working at places like SHL, Savill & Holdsworth, and also PSL, now owned by Connexa. And they're two very large test publishing firms. They're probably going to be the two test publishers that you're going to be encountering in your job applications or promotion applications, and I've been responsible for designing a lot of these wonderful tests. So I guess first of all an apology for putting you through all of this stress in the first place. But see this as my compensation, as my way of making some small amends to you in helping you to prepare for these psychometric tests. I'm also joined on the call by Gabor Mikesh, who is Managing Director of the Career Gym, and he will be on hand to help with any technical issues that we experience during the webcast. The Career Gym is an online test preparation organisation, and I'd encourage you afterwards to have a visit of our website and to check out the test preparation material that we have, and we'll be talking to you a little bit about that later on. I should let you know that today's webcast is being recorded so that you can refer back to this time and time again to help you with your preparation, and that link will be sent out at the end to you all. I would encourage everyone that if your screen isn't already on full screen, then to put it on to that now, because some of the questions that we'll be looking at will require a fair bit of visual detail, so you'll need the screen as large as possible to be able to refer to it. Okay, so by email within 48 hours of the event, you'll get a copy of the recording. You'll also get a copy of the presentation, so you'll have these slides in a separate format, and you'll also have a link to an evaluation form where it would be great if you could tell us how you found the webinar and any qualitative comments that you have about myself or the website or anything you'd like to see in the future. Okay, so this is going to be by virtue of the medium that we're using, it's going to be fairly one way, but we would encourage you to use the chat screens that are available to you on the live webcast. So when I pose to you brain teasers and questions for you to have a go at, do compare notes with your colleagues. Let's have a bit of a warm-up. So it's 7 o'clock in the evening. You probably had a hard day at work or a hard day being a student. So let's take a look at this picture, and I'd like you to just take 15 seconds or so to try and count how many faces you can see in this picture. Okay, so hopefully that was enough time for everyone to get a good look at the image. In the true tradition of a psychologist, then I would say there are no absolute 100% correct answers, but there are at least 8 faces there, and 9 if you count the dog. So I guess that's a bit of a warm-up, because some of the tests, especially the abstract reasoning tests, do require a pretty fine level of visual acuity and attention. So hopefully this is giving you a little bit of a warm-up. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the webcast structure. We're going to be taking this from the perspective of an applicant. So we're going to be talking about some of the more common questions and concerns. Now, I know that some of you have sent in questions in advance, so thank you for those. We'll come to those during the webcast. And we're going to be letting you know what are these tests like if you've never sat them before, what you should do in advance in order to give your best performance, what you should need to know during the test in order to give your best performance, and then what happens next. So in this section we'll talk about how they're scored, whether there are points deducted for guessing, and how companies would go about making a decision as to whether you might proceed through to the next stage or not. So we'll give you some insight into that. At the end we'll talk about some of the practice materials that we have available at the Career Gym, and some of the packages that are available if you wish to take the practice further. And as I say, there's questions covered during and post webinar. We would welcome you, give you the opportunity to send in any questions that you have after the webinar. Just email us at the address attached and we'll endeavour to answer all the questions that you send.